confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 1,060, with 9 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 15 additional cases were reported and no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's Wednesday, September 8th. COVID-19 is likely here to stay as it continues to mutate in unvaccinated countries around the world. That is the newest message from global health officials this week. During a press briefing on Tuesday, Dr. Mike Ryan, the executive director with the World Health Organization, said he believes the coronavirus is likely here to stay with us and it will continue to evolve. Officials at the Global Health Agency previously said vaccines do not guarantee the world would eradicate COVID-19 like it has other viruses. They also mentioned that if the world had taken early steps to stop the spread of the virus, the situation today could have been very different. Maria Van Kerkhoff, its technical lead on COVID-19, said we had a chance in the beginning of this pandemic and the situation did not need to be this bad. Several leading health experts, including White House Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci, also have warned that the world will have to live with COVID forever, much like influenza. Children now represent more than a quarter of weekly COVID-19 cases nationwide. A new report from the American Academy of Pediatrics and the Children's Hospital Association reveals that close to 252,000 children tested positive for the coronavirus in the last week as schools reopened for in-person learning. By comparison, there were about 8,400 cases among children in June. More than half of all new pediatric cases were found in southern states. Public health officials encourage adults to get vaccinated to protect young children returning to the classroom. The Pediatrics Association says after a decline in early summer, child cases have increased exponentially, with more than 750,000 cases added between August 5th and September 2nd. The group also says it still appears that severe illness due to COVID-19 is not common among children at this time. The Academy adds that there is an urgent need to collect more information on longer-term impacts of the pandemic on children, including ways the virus may harm the long-term physical health of infected children, as well as its emotional and mental health effects. So far, more than 5 million children tested positive for COVID-19, representing just over 15% of all cases in the U.S. Younger people in Long Beach are dying from COVID-19. The average age is now 59, 13 years younger than the average age in March of 2020. Long Beach Mayor Robert Garcia says the shift in the average age shows the critical need for people, especially the young ones who have been least likely to get vaccinated, to protect themselves and others around them. The city also saw that severe forms of COVID-19 are disproportionately impacting male patients. 70% of deaths since July of 2021 have been men. Before July, only 58% of deaths were men. Health Officer Dr. Anissa Davis asked everyone who can to get vaccinated and wear a mask indoors, saying the life you save may be your own. More than 75% of Long Beach residents ages 12 and up are partially vaccinated, and more than 65% are fully vaccinated. COVID-19 cases are starting to drop again in LA County among healthcare workers after a steady increase during the early summer months. Cases dropped from 534 in early August to 291 in early September. In the most recent report, 178 cases were among the vaccinated and 113 were among the unvaccinated healthcare workers. Since the pandemic began, 44,441 healthcare workers and first responders tested positive for COVID-19. 284 of them passed away, with almost all deaths taking place between July 2020 and February 2021. Vaccinations for healthcare workers began in December of 2020. Since last May, 11 healthcare workers passed away from COVID-19. LA County healthcare workers are required to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19 by September 30th. Currently, healthcare facilities and high-risk congregate facilities must verify the vaccine status of all workers and comply with respirator, masking, and testing mandates. Former Lakers player and NBA All-Star Cedric Ceballos announced that he is hospitalized with COVID-19. He shared a picture of himself in a hospital bed with an oxygen mask covering his mouth and nose. He tweeted on Tuesday that it's his 10th day in the intensive care unit, and he's asking all of his family and friends to send prayers and well wishes for his recovery. He also added that he wanted to publicly apologize if he had done anything to anyone in the past and claimed that his fight is not done. Tens of thousands of people responded to Ceballos' tweet, including a fan who also shared a picture saying he was fighting in the ICU too. Angel Trujillo told Ceballos to stay strong and said he will be praying for him. Ceballos attended Cal State Fullerton before moving on to the NBA, where he won the league's 1992 slam dunk competition. Two tropical islands half a world apart are now added to the highest risk destinations for travelers. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention updated its travel advisories list on Tuesday, adding Jamaica and Sri Lanka to its Level 4 COVID-19 very high category. People should avoid traveling to these locations, and the CDC recommends anyone who must travel to be fully vaccinated first. Destinations in the Level 4 category have had more than 500 cases per 100,000 residents in the past 28 days. Jamaica's COVID-19 vaccination campaign has been slow, with only 19 doses given per 100 people as of Tuesday. The country implemented a series of curfews since late August with no movement days in hopes of slowing the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has one of Asia's stronger vaccination campaigns, with 102 doses administered per 100 people as of Tuesday, but it has still seen a rise in cases recently. Other popular vacation spots are also on the CDC's Level 4 list. Brazil has been there for months, and the Bahamas, Costa Rica, France, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Portugal, Spain, Thailand, and the United Kingdom remain there as well. A statewide flex alert is taking place right now due to heat and tight power supply. From 4 to 9 p.m., Californians are asked to voluntarily conserve energy. That means setting thermostats to 78 degrees or higher, using fans to cool the home if health permits, avoiding the use of major appliances such as dishwashers and clothes washers and dryers, turning off all unnecessary lights, and unplugging unused items. The alert is an attempt to avoid power disruptions and rolling blackouts. The California Independent System Operator, which runs the state's power grid, says they are predicting an increase in electricity demand, primarily from air conditioning use, as temperatures rise above normal levels. The National Weather Service says expect very warm to hot weather across Southern California throughout the week. The agency shared tips to stay cool, hydrated, and safe during the heat wave. Dangerously hot conditions are expected in Antelope Valley today, and elevated fire conditions are also in place. The city of Lancaster set a record this week, marking the most number of days in a row with a daily high of 100 degrees or more. Today is the 59th day, with highs hitting 106 degrees, according to weather.com. The Los Angeles International Airport and SoFi Stadium are looking to hire thousands of people tomorrow at a job fair. It takes place from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Inglewood Stadium, located at 1001 South Stadium Drive. LAX and SoFi Stadium are looking to fill more than 5,000 job openings. More than 45 companies based at these two locations will be there tomorrow, with jobs in areas including administration, airlines, concessions, construction, food services, hospitality, retail, and security. Interviews will be conducted on site, and anyone who pre-registers will get access to online job readiness training and other resources. LAX is the world's third busiest airport and the second busiest in the U.S. It generates more than 620,000 jobs in Southern California. Meanwhile, SoFi Stadium officials say they are committed to being a 100% union job site and set aside apprenticeship opportunities to help Inglewood residents gain experience. SoFi Stadium will host additional hiring events this month, every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Expect COVID-19 safety guidelines to be in place, including mandatory masking and physical distancing. Anyone with questions can email businessandjobs@lawa.org. The latest round of the California COVID Relief Grant opens tomorrow, and qualifying small business owners can get free help applying for it. The Small Business Development Center, hosted by El Camino College, has a variety of expert small business advisors available to assist with all aspects of starting and/or running a business. And we recently introduced you to a couple of mentors from SCORE's Long Beach South Bay chapter in our recent episodes of Weekends in Torrance. They are retired professionals passionate about helping small business owners, especially those who are struggling during the pandemic. You can watch my story on Weekends in Torrance to learn more about their volunteer services and visit longbeach.score.org to find a mentor. You can also call or email the Small Business Development Center here in the South Bay for more information and to get set up with an advisor. Applicants not selected to move forward in previous rounds do not need to reapply. They will automatically be re-entered. New applicants can apply at careliefgrant.com. The application window opens tomorrow through Thursday, September 30th. A small business in Torrance celebrated its expansion with a ribbon-cutting ceremony today. It now provides an important new service for companies and individuals during this pandemic.
Now with packages being stolen all the time, we thought that offering a place where people could have their packages safely delivered, it will be a good option. And again, we gave it a try and we'll see what happens.
A Notary to You has been around for 17 years but relocated to Torrance 2 years ago. Located on the 3100 block of Pacific Coast Highway in South Torrance, the small business also offers notary services on site and at customers' locations for marriage licenses, live scan and hard copy fingerprints, translations, and more. Its owner, Gabby Fisher, is also the founder of the Utopian Society Project, a nonprofit making a positive impact in our community through random acts of kindness. Congratulations, Gabby. Bi-monthly, we share a Wellness Wednesday story to help you stay on top of this pandemic both emotionally and physically. Last month, I gave you an update on the progress being made at the Torrance Park and Ride Regional Terminal along the 400 block of Crenshaw Boulevard. Jim Fuentes with the General Service Department gave us a tour of the facility and told me that he spent countless hours making sure deadlines were met and work was getting done as quickly and safely as possible. During our interview, I also asked how he was doing mentally and emotionally as he took on such a big project during the pandemic. Here's what he shared about how he is staying on top of everything and maintaining a healthy work-life balance.
I like going out for nature walks, going out hiking. The height of the pandemic, a lot of places were closed, but we were able to go up to Wrightwood and do some hiking in that area. It's something you could do, in a day. Just go in the morning, come back in the early evening, and it's just something to get your mind off of what's going on. So I come back feeling refreshed because hiking is kind of hard, especially hiking uphill. But get a good sweat going on, and you get tired, but it's mentally it just, you feel a lot better.
I took Jim's advice as well and visited my fair share of peaceful sceneries through several road trips, and can say it really does help to press that refresh button and make me feel a lot better when I start feeling overwhelmed and stressed out. Thank you, Jim, for sharing your Wellness Wednesday story. You can rewatch my Transit Center update story on future episodes of Weekends in Torrance. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share feel-good stories from our community. Pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. More than 90% of safety seats that a local nonprofit inspects are actually installed incorrectly. To help parents and their little ones, Safety Belt Safe USA will host a free safety seat checkup this Friday. It takes place from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Torrance Municipal Airport Zamperini Field. Appointments are highly encouraged since walk-ins can face long waits or even be turned away if there are too many people. Call this number, 310-318-5111, to secure your spot. Organizers remind drivers that California now requires babies 2 and under to sit in properly installed rear-facing seats. Event attendees can also find out why most children need a booster seat until ages 10 to 12. What an important way to make sure our young ones are kept safe. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo, or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Bella Shaw brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.